Hello guys, welcome to this lecture. In this class we're going to look at some organic chemistry questions and answer. Let's begin. The first question says, what is the IUPAC name, or what is the IUPAC name of the compound? That is IUPAC name of the following compound. What is the IUPAC name of the following compound? Now this is the compound that was given to you, this structure here. You have the options. Now whenever you want to name any structure, the first thing is to identify the longest continuous chain. Now in most cases the longest continuous chain is not usually a straight chain, as you may need to take a bend in order to ascertain that chain. Now in this case, what will be our longest continuous chain? This is our longest continuous chain. This chain that runs from here through here then down to this place is what our longest continuous chain. Now every other thing attached to the longest continuous chain is what? A substituent. Now in our longest continuous chain, having ascertained that this chain like this, the chain that runs from here, chlorine, down to this point, then down to this point like this, our longest continuous chain. Why? Because it's the chain that is longest. Are we heading it among all the chains? If you count, these how many carbons? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Are we heading it? It has 10. Every other chain like this one, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. This one also 9. Are you getting it now? So the longest continuous chain is this chain that runs from here like this down to this point and then finally here. Now the next thing is to number your longest continuous chain. Now why we are numbering the longest continuous chain? We said we number from the side, in this case, that we get to the any of the unsaturated carbons. We number from the side that we get to any of the unsaturated carbon. Now here are the unsaturated carbons in this compound. You agree with me that this carbon here is unsaturated? Are you getting it? This carbon here, this one is unsaturated, this one is unsaturated, this is unsaturated, and this is unsaturated. What makes them unsaturated? Because they have double bond and triple bond. Now how many steps do we need to count in the longest continuous chain in order to get to the unsaturated carbon here? This one is 1, this one is 2, here is 1. We just need to count 1 before we get to the longest continuous. Why? So I need to count 1 2. So the one that is closest is the one that we take. Therefore our numbering for this compound, we start from here. So this is carbon 1. Of course you know that this point like this is another carbon. Okay, wherever you have triple bond like this in such a way that they end, then the chain continue, there's a carbon here. Are we getting it? It can be likened to something like this. Then you have this one, another carbon here that continues. Are we getting it now? So if this is carbon 1, this will be carbon 2, this will be what? Carbon 3, this is carbon 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Are we getting it now? Now the next thing is to identify the substituents. What are the substituents? Now you agree with me that there is a chlorine at carbon number 10. Okay, this chloro group, this is also another chloro group at carbon number 6. So we have 2 chloro, 6,10 dichloro. Are we getting it now? Now we have ethyl group at carbon number 7. This group here is called ethyl because it have 1 carbon here, 2 carbon here. Ethyl group here. Then this group here that you have is an ethyl group with a methyl substituent. Now when you want to name this group, are we getting it? If you want to name this group, at what carbon is this group attached in the longest continuous chain? At what carbon is this group attached in the longest continuous chain? It is attached to carbon 4. Okay, so you say 4. Now if you look at this is not just a straight chain. Look at this is 1, okay, this is 1 and what 2, then there's a substituent here. It means that this substituent has another substituent in it. Are you getting it now? So this is 1 2, then there's a substituent. That substituent is what? Methyl. So you call it 4 what? 1 methyl. Are you getting it now? Methyl ethyl, because there are two substituents. 1 2. This is, if I use a different pen now to show to you, this is carbon 1 and this is what? Carbon 2. Now it means that even on this one there is another substituent here. Are we getting it? That substituent now is the methyl substituent, and that methyl substituent is on which of the carbon? Is on carbon 1 of that substituent. So that's the name, we call it 1 methyl, then what? The main substituent, which is what? Ethyl. Are we getting it now? So that is the name of that group there, 1 methyl ethyl group. Okay, so now how do we name this compound? First of all, we start by naming the chloro group. If we name all the substituent out, we have chloro, we have what? Ethyl, and we have methyl what? Ethyl. Okay, now you name them in alphabetical order. Between chloro, ethyl and methyl, which one comes first? Is chloro. Even if you use the dichloro, because there are two chloro, D also come before what? E. So we name the dichloro group first. Now at what position are the dichloro group? They are at position number 6 and 10. So it say this is what? 6. Say the name of this compound is 6 what? 6, 10. Then you call it dichloro. 6, 10 dichloro. Then the ethyl group is out. After dichloro, D, what do you have? E. So we name the ethyl group now. The ethyl group is at carbon number what? 7. So we say 7 what? Ethyl. 7 ethyl. Are we getting it now? The next thing we are going to name now is the group here, which is this group here. We said this group is 4 because the main substituent, which is this, is attached to carbon 4. So we say this is 4 bracket. In this substituent there's another substituent, which is methyl substituent. 4 bracket what? 1 methyl ethyl. 1 methyl ethyl. Okay, then the longest continuous chain. Now the longest continuous chain has how many carbon? 10. When something has 10 carbon, you call it what? Decaying, which should now be what? Dec. Now but at carbon number what? We are going to name the ene before the ine. Okay, because the ene has the ine has a higher priority here than the ine has higher priority than the ene, which is the alkene group and the alkyne group. So this is dec. Now at what position is the ene group? It's at position number 8. So you say dec what? 8 in. At what position is the ine group? It's at position number 1. So we say dec 8 in 1 what? Ine. And that is the name of this compound. 6,10 dichloro, 7 ethyl, 4 bracket 1 methyl ethyl, dec 8 in 1 ine. Why is it 1 ine? Because the alkyne group, which has triple bond, this group here that has triple bond, is on carbon what? 1. It's on carbon number 1. Okay, so that is how to name any compound like this that is given to you. First of all, identify the longest continuous chain, then identify the substituent in the compound, and from there you'll be able to name the compound. The next one, the following reaction. Now the reaction given to you is this: C plus CH4 to give us Cl plus CH3. Transformation is an example of which of the understated. Which of them has this transformation? Of course, you know there's supposed to be a methyl radical here. Then you have ACl. Okay, supposed to be a methyl radical here. Then this, when this adds to this to form ACl and this, but this is a transformation that was given to you. Now you are asked which of the following correct transformation was not written well. It's supposed to be Cl. Okay, which the following transformation is an example of which of the understated? Is it propagation step in addition reaction, propagation step in rearrangement reaction, propagation step in substitution reaction? Now the correct answer is propagation step in what? Substitution reaction. We said that the propagation step of substitution reaction has what? It leads to the formation of what? Radical. One radical reacts with a free molecule, which is this, to form what? Another radical and what? A molecule, which is something like this. So this is the propagation step in addition reaction. In substitution reaction, we say the alkanes generally undergoes substitution reaction. Okay, they generally undergo the substitution reaction. Hence, this reaction is under what? Substitution reaction. That is the correct answer. Now, one of the following statements best describe the relationship of the following compound above. Now, they are stereoisomers, they are conformers, they are exactly the same compound, all of the above. Now, these compounds, they are stereoisomers because, one, they are geometric isomers which have the cis and the trans configuration. They follow the cis and the trans configuration. Okay, now which of them is cis and which of them is trans? If you take the compound out here, this is CH3, this is H, this is CH3, and this is H. CH3, H, H, and CH3. Now, what is the name of these compounds? Now, if you look at this one very well, you discover that the two hydrogen group are on one side. Now, when the two hydrogen group are on one side, you call it cis. Okay, now when the two hydrogen group are opposite side, what do you call them? Trans. So this one is the cis compound and this one is the what? Trans compound. Now what is their name? This 1, 2, 3. So this is 1, 3 dimethyl cyclopropane. Okay, that's the name of this compound. Cis 1, 3 dimethyl cyclopropane. Why this one is trans what? 1, 3 di trans 1, 3 dimethyl cyclopropane. That is the name of these compounds that are here. Are we getting it now? So the correct answer is that they are stereoisomers. Not, they are not conformers, they are not exactly the same compound, and they are not all of the above. Are we getting it now? So that's the right answer to that question. Now the next question says, an organic compound is found to be 20% carbon. Carbon is how many percent? 20. Then 22% hydrogen. Hydrogen is what? Okay, 2.2%. And then chlorine is 77.8%. What is the simplest formula? Now what do you do? First of all, you divide by the atomic numbers, atomic masses. Atomic mass of carbon is 12. Atomic mass of carbon is 12. That of hydrogen is 1. And that of chlorine is what? 35.5. So this is 20 divided by 12. Then hydrogen is 1. Then chlorine is 35.5. Now when you punch your calculator, what are you going to have for each of the cases? When you press your calculator, you have 20 divided by 12. It will give you 1.666. So this is 1.666. Then hydrogen is 2.2. And then chlorine is, you have 77.8 divided by 35.5. What would that give to you? It will give you 2.19. So this is equals to 2.19. 2.19. Now the next thing you do is divided by the smallest. What is smallest? 1.66, right? So this is divided by 1.66, this is divided by 1.66, and this is divided by 1.66. okay, this cancels this. This is 1. This is 2.2 divided by 1.66. 2.2 divided by 1.66, and that is equals to 1.325. 1.325. Then 2.19 divided by 1.66, that is 1.32 also. So this is 1.32. Now at the end of the day, what do you do? This is the empirical formula, but then this formula that you have here, you cannot write this because it's not stoichiometric. So we need to multiply by a particular number in such a way that the answer will give us a whole number. Now what are we going to multiply by that will give us the whole number answer that we are looking for? What are we going to multiply by? If we multiply both sides by 3, here will be what? 3. Here will be what? Let's say 3. If you multiply 1.32 5 times 3, that will give us 3.9. okay, 3.975, which is approximately 4. Then multiply 1.32 times 3, 3.96, 3.96, which is also approximately 4. So the empirical formula of this compound is, if I want to go by it, is C3H4Cl4. That's the empirical formula of the compound, C3H4Cl4. Thank you for your time.